What's going on, guys? Come on in. This is going to be more of a chill video, but I've got a lot I want to talk about and show. So here's what I think the reality is in 2024. Arrow Video, hands down, is making the greatest box sets for physical media collectors in the game. Now, last year, they rocked my frickin' socks off with the Empire of Scream set. Now, I was fortunate enough to be able to get the set a little bit early at Texas Frightmare, and the premiere version of the set, which is more of a deluxe version that has an opening, it's all of a hard shell box, that set sold out, and then they basically did a more economy style set, which is still very nice by today's standards. And then last year, they did things that absolutely took us by storm. For instance, this was the Hellraiser Quartet of Torment release, and I think you'll agree that this release just absolutely killed. It is gorgeous, it is hard as a rock, and it is a release that just defies the quality that other companies just can't do yet. And so that was fantastic, but then they got us even more with the classic Psycho Collection. Now, the Psycho Collection is possibly one of the greatest box sets, 4K box sets I've ever seen. They went ahead and did the slipcase over the box that people are really liking, and they featured all 4 films, and they have individual discs in there, and they just did a fantastic job. So, this box set came out last year, and I didn't pick it up. I say last year, it might have been early this year, but I didn't pick it up right away. And I'm going to be extremely honest with you, my audience, because I've been doing YouTube for 12 years, and there's one thing that I've learned when it comes to doing videos and presenting yourself to an audience, is that don't bullshit the audience. I don't know a lot about Coffin Joe. I've done a little bit of research to talk about him on this video, but really what I wanted to do with this video is show you guys that Arrow is unstoppable. They are making the best box sets, and when I got this box set in the mail, I looked at it and I said, I have to talk about this as a matter with my audience, because I want them that are kind of, you know, on the fence about some things. They kind of really pick and choose what they get, because let's face it, these things aren't cheap. We can't just buy these things all the time. I want to show you where the most bang for your buck truly is going. This is the box set that came out early this year, I believe, and this is probably the nicest presentation I've ever seen. Inside the Mind of Coffin Joe. So Coffin Joe, from what I looked up, Coffin Joe, his name, I have it pulled up, Jose Mojica Marines. He's from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Now, Sao Paulo, I know, is a pretty big place because, you know, bands, when they go to Brazil, Sao Paulo is a place that I see where bands go through all the time, especially in the 90s. Kiss was doing, while they were dying in the 90s, mind you, Kiss was playing massive crowds, 40, 50,000 people in Sao Paulo in 1994 and 1995. So the entertainment world over there seemed to kind of be a little bit slower than like in America. Like they weren't grunging in Sao Paulo in 94. They were getting down with Kiss, thousands and thousands of people. But yeah, so what I looked up about Coffin Joe is he seems to be an icon, a horror boogeyman. I think they even call him Brazil's national boogeyman. And so a lot of these movies I have seen the poster arts for, specifically one of the later titles, which we'll look at, but I'm going to be learning a lot about Coffin Joe. Now, there's one thing I want to talk about right away with this box set. So guys, here's the Blu-ray that includes the movie The Awakening of the Beast. Now, there is an issue with this disc, and I got this months and months later, but it looks like the manufacturing for this was still from the original manufacturing, so at the 35 mark, the subtitles go away. This movie is in Portuguese, and they do have a replacement program for that you send in. So if you get this off of Amazon right now, just know that you'll still more than likely have to get a replacement disc for this. But Arrow seems to be pretty good about that sort of thing, and they make it very simple. So it's still an issue, but I want to make that clear. And look, those things happen. It's a big undertaking when you do box sets like this. I mean, it happened with Friday the 13th, and I don't like those sort of things, but the reality is human error is human error. I'm not gonna hate on that. I want to say this. I've been an Arrow customer now since really about 2016, so 8 years. As crazy as that sounds for me, some of you longer, I have been getting releases from them, and I have always been at least satisfied with the stuff that they put out in terms of presentation. Sometimes I'll get movies that are blind buys that I may not love, but as a customer of them, a fluent customer of them for now over 6 years, I have come to be accustomed to a level of quality when it comes to their releases in terms of the slipcovers, the style, the casing, everything that they do. It seems to be at a premium. This box set just made me say, it's over for anybody else. The quality on this is incredible. What I really love about this is the roster on the side. Now let's talk about the names of some of these movies because they truly are incredible. At Midnight, I'll Take Your Soul. The Night I'll Possess Your Corpse. The Strange World of Coffin Joe. The Awakening of the Beast. The End of Man. When the Gods Fall Asleep. The Strange Hostel of Naked Pleasures. Hellish Flesh. Hallucinations of a Deranged Mind, The Embodiment of Evil, and The Strange World of Jose Mojica Marins. Because I wanted to check The Awakening of the Beast to see if there was an issue, I naturally just started watching the film. And I wanted to fast forward a little bit to see where the subtitles kicked off, and I saw that where they did kick off. And before I knew it, I kept watching despite the fact that the subtitles were off because I was so enamored with how dangerous these movies feel. Now, these movies are taking place during the 60s, and it seems like these are movies that have those weird, crazy visuals that you would see Rob Zombie put as B-roll footage in his movies. There's even a moment in The Awakening of the Beast where this audience is in a movie theater watching this guy in a graveyard being ravaged, and everywhere he goes, zombies are coming up and grabbing him, and it is hellish as anything I've ever seen. It was in black and white, and then the movie goes to color, which just threw me off, but I was absolutely enamored. This is going to be a perfect box set for a lot of people like me that haven't really seen much from Coffin Joe before to go out and experience these during Halloween time. So I'm going to be watching a few of these because I want to educate myself, but I really want to see some of the latter 60s movies for a Halloween time experience because they have that X factor of stuff you would see on TV, maybe in movies in the past, or have that vibe of stuff you would see as old school horror movies on the TV in a house in like a Halloween movie. So they have this vibe that is palpable. So I'm very excited to dive into Coffin Joe. Let's have another look at this and show you guys the artwork, which I think is incredible. And it has this almost 3D effect on the inside of the mind thing, so that's why it looks a little blurry. And the sturdiness and the quality of this box set is truly awe-inspiring. Now, there's a little bit of nudity on here, so just to be safe, I know you watching this are saying, well, Christian, I'm not going to flag this, but you know how people are. So we get this beautiful art with this girl that shows her tits on there, and we've got all of our movies and our booklet and poster inside. So let's pull the movies out and take a look at each case. But there's not as many Blu-rays in here, so what they did is they doubled up the movies, which is fine because you know that the discs that they're using are probably the biggest bitrate discs, so they have a lot of storage on here. So the compression is not that bad, and I did pop in these movies, and a lot of them look really good. Some of them were restored from a 35mm print, which in some cases they say on here is the only surviving element, but a lot of them look great. Some of them look jaw-droppingly good. First up, guys, is The Awakening of the Beast, but this also comes with the movie The End of Man on the inside. And each release inside comes with really great cards that have these original style 60s posters that are just really, really cool. So that is, you know, a nice touch. And these cases aren't bad. I mean, they're still clear cases, which Arrow is, that's their trademark. But these are more of a thinner American style casing that you would get. But they still feel very sturdy. They're not, you know, recycle cases. Now, I'm not against recycling, but the fact of the matter is I'm a little bit of a brute. My wife always tells me I'm too rough on things, and that's probably true. So I like it when the cases aren't that way because I feel like I'm not going to damage them as easily. The next one we have, guys, I love this artwork. When the Gods Fall Asleep. Now that's just really cool. On the inside we get, again, more cards with the original side, with the original posters, and on the other side we get the new art that they made, and they share two movies on a disc, And not to mention, guys, I'm sure you guys have figured this out. It would take me forever to go over all of it, but a lot of these are filled with special features. Filled with special features. The Night I'll Possess Your Corpse. Now, I think this came out in the late 60s, which is the perfect time period. I'm really falling in love with the late 60s because they didn't really give a damn. They were doing stuff that was really intense back then. So, yeah, that's cool. And the other movie that comes with is The Strange World of Coffin Joe, which I believe is the anthology movie. And there's a documentary in here that might be The Strange World of Jose. I'm not sure. I think. Like I said, I'm still learning. Now, this is something I remembered. I believe Synapse put out a Blu-ray of this movie that went on a print, and now Arrow has it. But this movie is from 2008. I believe this was Coffin Joe, or Jose's last movie he made. Now, I didn't buy that Synapse Blu-ray because I just didn't know enough about it. But now I have it, and I'm glad I waited because there's no double dips for me with this set, which I think is also really cool. So this is from 2008, and part of me wants to jump right into this to see the last movie Coffin Joe did, but I feel like I'd be better suited going through the career of Coffin Joe and the movies he did. But the other movie that comes with this is The Embodiment of Evil. Yeah, really great. And for an idea of the other side of the art is gorgeous, gorgeous, colorful stuff. At Midnight, I'll Take Your Soul. That's probably one of the best titles I've ever heard. Again, so many special features on all of these damn releases. What's cool about this one is it came with this, a funeral home card, because I believe Coffin Joe was a undertaker. And then it comes with these cool cards. This looks like a promotional card for a movie they have called Fighting Back. And again, here are the posters that have the original art side, and then the new art that I believe Arrow did for these. I still feel like, even though these are thinner cases, no expense was spared. And I think if I was in charge of producing this set, I would have done the same thing, because the box set would have been very, very, very thick if they would have done the PS3 style cases. Now, this one is my favorite artwork out of the bunch, Hallucinations of the Deranged Mind. Now, this one shares a disc with Hellish Flesh, which has great artwork as well. Now, the premise of Hallucinations of a Deranged Mind sounded so cool to me. A psychiatric doctor driven to insanity by nightmarish visions of Zado Coaxia, trying to steal his wife is helped by... And that's the thing, Coffin Joe seems to be obsessed with finding the perfect bride kind of thing. But look at this artwork. How do you not just sit in awe of that? It's beautiful. And then, of course, we get our lovely Arrow booklet. I love the smell of them. Coffin Joe Against the World. I kept thinking I have it upside down, but I don't. And it looks like this will give me the answer to everything I could possibly want about Coffin Joe. It goes over his career. Really nice, highly detailed book. And man, those old 60s movies just sound... They're a lot more dangerous and vaudevillian and overtly sexual than I remember. And we also get this. We get the poster that comes with artwork that has nudity on one side, so I'll just show you this side to be safe. I do apologize, guys. I know you're watching this and you're probably saying, I'm an adult, I can handle it, but I can't take the risk of that. Even the posters have a strong smell, but incredible, guys. Absolutely incredible. So I wanted to talk about this because hopefully there are some experts in there that can guide me a little bit with Coffin Joe, but I really wanted to talk about this because I think this kind of solidifies to me that when it comes to box sets, nobody can touch Arrow. They are just that good. And the presentation of Coffin Joe, even though these are movies I haven't really seen before, I've never been more excited to own a box set, because what happened was I had Amazon affiliate money from recommending one of the 4K players I recommend to people. They usually use my affiliate link, which doesn't cost them a penny extra. It basically just gives a little kickback to me when they use that link. And so I've done that for a few years now. And so I had about $100 worth of Amazon affiliate money. And I was like, let me get that Coffin Joe set, because a lot of my viewers were telling me to get it. And I didn't for one reason or another. And I just think this box set solidifies to me that Arrow Video is the absolute GOAT of the box set. They make you excited. They make you feel like you're getting your money's worth in terms of quality. It's just undeniable to me. So I'm very excited to dive into the Coffin Joe box set. And this was a release that is so nice. Like, there's nothing to ever upgrade from this. So I'd like to think this is the last set there's going to be of Coffin Joe. And it looks like a cool bookend for... We just lost Coffin Joe a few years ago. He died in 2020, February 19th. So very sad that we lost Jose. But he's going to live forever through his movies, through this box set. And the quality on this is undeniably great, guys. So if you're interested in this, you can get this still. But just be warned about the replacement disc issue. The 35-minute mark, it does happen on The Awakening of the Beast. But guys, I think this solidifies to me Arrow is the best at the box sets. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you have a differing of opinion, I'd love to hear it. But for now, this is your old pal CHH saying, Arrow, you guys did it.
Huge giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind the scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.